I like where the bottom is sitting right now. So now that I've done that, I'm just going to select my TiVi object again, and rather than waiting around, I'm just going to attach it right away. I don't have any specific reason to leave it unattached, so I'll just go ahead and attach it. And then I'm just going to select by element and hide selected. I just need to do a little bit of cleanup here with the triangulation that I did before. Because I'm just looking at this and it seems that some of the stuff could be triangulated a lot better. I can get rid of a lot of this topology now. So that's what I'm going to do. Just try to triangulate all this stuff right over to the side there. Oh, wrong edge. Okay, remove, and then I'm going to target weld these polygons over. Just keep target welding until I get rid of all this extra topology that I no longer need. And then I'll just remove this edge. And that's looking a lot better. Yeah, I can live with that. Now, same with this corner here. I can probably do a little bit better here. Or maybe not better, but a little more aesthetically triangulated. And same goes for this corner down here. Okay, looking pretty good to me. While I'm looking here, actually, this edge here could use one more split. So I'll do a ring, connect, and then I will slide it up here. And then hit W to go to my move tool and just pull it outwards. And actually, now that I do that, I can probably try to put everything in the same smoothing group. Let's see. Control face mode, and we'll put everything in 9. See how that works. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. Okay. So now I'm going to save it. And then I'll go to element mode and unhide all. And that will unhide my button panel. So I'm just going to zoom in really close here on the reference. See what I'm working with. And so once again, the outer corners of this button panel here are rounded out. So I'm just going to select one edge, hit ring, and then I'm going to hit chamfer. Except this time, the chamfer amount is going to be a little bit lower. It's going to be round, but it's not going to be huge. A little bit more. And that looks pretty good to me. So we'll say OK. Then I'll grab the front face and hit inset to get my inset amount. Say OK. And then I'm going to do an extrude, but I'm going to extrude it inwards slightly. And then I'm just going to scale it inwards. I'm going to move to my scale tool. I'm going to scale it on the on the z-axis first, just a little bit, and on the x-axis. Now it doesn't look like that in the actual concept, in the image. It's not really scaled in, but I like to do that just a little bit. It gives you something to see. It gives the light something to catch. So that looks kind of nice. And then I'm just going to select these two edges here, hit ring, control face select mode, and set my smoothing group. Get some nice smoothing on those outer edges. That looks pretty good. So the next thing we have to do on this button panel is we're going to have this groove here where the volume knob slides, and then we also have the speaker grooves. The speakers behind this plastic panel. It's got the grooves in there. So I'm going to zoom out, and I'm just going to add some initial topology in here to divide it up. So I'm going to grab the edge, I'm going to hit ring, and then grab this edge and hit ring, and connect. Then I'm going to control switch to vertex selection mode, select edge constraints, hit W for translate, and I'm just going to translate it down until it looks roughly about the same as it does in the image here. That looks okay. Now I just want to triangulate some of the stuff at the bottom here. So I'm just going to control select both verts and then hit connect. I'll do the same thing at the top. And that looks okay for the plastic portion of the button panel. Now what I need to do is I think the first thing I'll do is I'll add the groove for the volume slider. So that's really simple to do. I'll just select the space here, hit inset, say OK, and then press R to go to scale tool, and just scale my new polygon that I created to the right shape, and then, turn off edge constraints, and then move it into position. I'm just going to eyeball its position here. I'm not going to make it exact. That looks kind of good. Now from there what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit extrude again, extrude it inwards, and then I'm going to press R to go to scale tool, scale it in on the x-axis, hold control, and switch to vertex selection, and then I'm going to bring up the weld dialog, because I don't need that extra back face in there. I just need to indicate that there's a hole there. So I just want to weld away that back face. Say OK. And then I'm going to save it again. And then I'm going to want to add in these grid lines here. So to do that, I don't want to add any extra unnecessary topology. So rather than doing a full ring, I'm just going to grab these two edges and hit connect. And I believe I counted about 10. So I'm going to do 19 of these separations here. And 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once again, same operation, extrude. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it inwards again, but if you leave it on scale by center of selection up here, under these different scale options, this button means scale by center of selection, so it's going to scale them all uniformly as one object. But what you can do is you can change it to scale by individual polygon, and that will scale each polygon separately. And then control, switch to vertex selection, weld dialog, and weld it together. Say OK. That looks alright. Now you can see I save very often. It's just a habit of mine, but I think it's a good habit. Usually on any given model that I'm working on, I'll end up with anywhere between 50 to even 200 iterations of that model. I don't keep them all in the end, but it makes me feel comfortable to have them. So I like to do that. Now what I'm just doing is I'm going to triangulate these over to this upper vert here. So I'm just control selecting all the verts and then just hitting connect. It looks like a mess from this view, but it saves a lot of topology, and all of those triangles are coplanar, so you don't even notice it. So once again, control select and connect them all. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Just bear with me. It's a little bit of a tedious process. I haven't figured out another way to select all of those vertices